I hear it every now and then that someone says, or they're talking about, I sold my soul to the devil. That is actually not possible. You cannot sell your soul to the devil. Nobody can. Nobody ever has. There's no way to accomplish that. Now, why is that so? Well, morally speaking, someone could say, I sold my soul to the devil, simply because they're saying, I'm a sworn friend of Satan, and I owe my allegiance to him and all that kind of thing. And yes, you can do that as an act of the free will. You could do that. But you cannot sell your soul to the devil, perhaps because it's so plain that there is no currency between our world and the spiritual world in that sense, so you can't name a price to it. But that's kind of beside the point. The real reason is because, in truth, your soul does not belong to you. So therefore, you cannot sell something that is not yours. And even if you wanted to, you would not be able to buy it for the same reason. The owner of your soul is the creator of your soul, and that happens to be God. It's not some ethereal, mysterious mist in the universe, some cosmic consciousness, or some strange unreality that we've invented like that. No, the soul is an actual created spirit, and it happens at the moment of each person's conception. And that's just a fact of life. You cannot sell your soul to the devil, so that is factually incorrect. But something else that's kind of interesting along the same lines as this is what we call the indelible marks on the soul. These are marks upon the soul that nothing, absolutely nothing, can remove. And these marks are the marks of baptism, confirmation, and the priesthood. Now, the priesthood, also known as holy orders in the Catholic faith, is not something that all of us can ever get, and that's by God's design. That's not our choice. That is by God's design, and He designed it that way for a reason. And I'm not going to get into that right here. But as far as baptism and confirmation go, the Catholic faith teaches us that these are marks that are upon the soul that actually do something. They don't just symbolize a unity with Christ or a unity with the body of believers or that. It doesn't stop there. It is an actual mark upon the soul, where in the spirit world, with the angels and the demons, they can recognize that soul, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on this, but they can recognize that that soul is marked as being Christ's own. It belongs to Jesus Christ. And no demon, no angel, no anybody can undo that mark. It is a permanent change upon the soul. And that's what we mean when we say that that God's grace and His Spirit enter that person and become part of that person. And that's why it is such a tragedy when people, myself included, when we sin, because we're dragging this soul that is marked with Christ's own mark into something that is disobedient to the will of God. It's that might get a little heavy here, so you have to back up a little bit and think about that. But those are permanent marks that you cannot undo. To that point, it also means that a baptism can be given only once. You cannot be baptized again and again and again and again and again if you're changing religions or what have you. Oh, I was baptized as a Catholic, but I left the church. They teach this, they're a whore of Babylon, blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. And they go off and they go, I'm so glad I got baptized as an adult. Now I'm a member of Fred's Evangelical Free Church down there in the corner by the gas station there. And boy, we're just so faithful and all. I don't know. You know what? You did not get rebaptized. You may have thought you did, but you actually could not. If you were legitimately baptized, you cannot be baptized again, period. The indelible mark has been placed upon your soul. It cannot be undone, and it cannot be redone. Now, within the Catholic Church, there is something called a conditional baptism, that if you were baptized before and you want to, in a different faith, or maybe in the Catholic faith, and you're not sure if you were baptized or if it was actually legitimate, you can be given what they call a conditional baptism, which is just simply prefaced by the priest that I baptize you. If you have not already been legitimately baptized, I baptize you now in the name of the Father, and in the name of the Son, and in the name of the Holy Spirit, with the pouring on of water. Okay? Now that's a conditional baptize, and that means that if you weren't legitimately baptized before, you are now. And if you were baptized before, this is not effective. It does nothing. The mark is already there. Now, I would add this last little note that if you've been baptized, and especially if you've been confirmed, and you should end up not in heaven, I'll just put it like that. If you end up not in heaven, I've got the inkling that where you do end up will be especially grievous, because you will still carry the mark of Christ on your soul. And that too is something to think about. You know, God is very generous, and he marks his people with an indelible mark. I don't worry about the mark of the beast, so-called in 666. There's a much more significant mark on the soul of every true Christian, or truly baptized person, I should probably say, that is much more significant and a lot more pleasant and enjoyable, and worth focusing on more than 666 or something like that. So anyhow, with that, I will end. I bid you farewell. Hope you have a good day. God bless you. Thanks for listening.